record. Okay, I'm recording. I always forget to record, which isn't good. But anyway, so much of Operation Move Anywhere, whether it's out of the country or not, and this is something that people, I think, kind of forget. When you're thinking about moving from LA to New York or from Atlanta to wherever the hell, it's the same feeling of my folks and when am I going to see my friends and what's it going to be like over there and am I going to meet new people? Same feelings, except when you're within your own country, I guess you feel like, well, I'll be closer. I can always go home or whatever. LA, a flight from Los Angeles to New York is like 6 or 7 hours. Right? It's actually a shorter flight to get to Costa Rica than it is to get to New York. And people don't really think about that, but this perspective of distance is really, it's not real. It's not real. No. It's so much in our head, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that also being clear about our why we want to leave, and the underpinnings of the motivation for it is what's going to determine whether or not it's successful or not, if that makes sense. Yeah. So, I'm just going to open the floor up. We can have a free-flowing kind of conversation about it, but these are kind of the things that I felt were really important to say. Like, your why is personal. Your why isn't going to be the same as mine, or maybe it is. But your why is what's going to get you through those nights when you feel like you made a huge mistake or you regret it or whatever. And that's not anything anybody else can give you. Tough talk.
It's fine. Okay,
sorry. So when you went to Mexico, how did that feel? Because you said you experienced it a little bit, and yes, you did.
Well, yeah, because, first of all, language, right? Language is different. My Spanish wasn't as smooth as I thought it was going to be because they do speak hella fast. I'd forgotten how fast the Spanish was there. And I was like, a lot, yeah. But I definitely was more comfortable there, like the third week. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But I was like, no, I couldn't really see myself staying there a long time because it was too hot, to be honest. I was like, whoo, I can't, it's hot.
Yes. Which is very different than like California beach, which is cold.
Yeah, so.
I miss that, actually, cooling off at the beach. That's something I miss, and I didn't, expect it to be what it is. I read about it though.
Is it cooler at night there? At the beach at night, hopefully?
It's hot.
The whole time on the beach.
It's cooler at night, but it's still hot. LA, it's cold at night by the beach. Yeah. And it's chilly during the day, except for in the middle of the dead summer when it's scorching, and then it's perfect. But the beach is cold, and so this is hot for me, like all the time. It's hot as hell at night. Oh my God, where we're going to have the retreat? It's right on the beach.
Here? Hold on.
Let me see, because I always give it to you in Celsius. Let me see. I'll just pull up Jaco, Costa Rica. Wait, Erica's having a hard time. Sorry.
Okay.
She's in Gmail. I'm like, no need. Okay. Okay, not right now, because right now is the rainy season. It's still, let's see, what is 30 Celsius? Celsius to Fahrenheit.
What is this?
86 right now.
Oh, about the same here.
86 at night. Because it's the rainy season now. The humidity is 88%.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
it's
Most of the-
this is Mexico then.
Yeah.
Do most of the homes have air conditioning or?
By the beach, yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, but you're gonna spend a lot of money on the air conditioning because
Mm.
during the day it's just as sticky and it's hot.
Mm.
So where we're staying, the bungalows all have air conditioning, and I left it on all day so that when I came in, it was nice and cool. But yeah, it's hot, and it's I don't know if you guys saw my wedding photos. There's a photo of us at the reception. We were all in the pool in our clothes.
Mm-hmm.
That was November. It was stupid hot. We were all just like, so we got in the pool. We had to.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
You guys didn't have any problem finding the post, right? Because it's the most recent post.
Nope,
Yeah,
I didn't have any problem.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
no,
the post I just posted right now. Okay, just making sure because
I just went through my email. There was an invitation sent to the email. That's how I found it.
oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Oh, I think it's because it's at different patron levels. That's why.
Uh,
Just a second. Anyway, I'm just gonna send her the link. Sorry guys,
no worries.
because she's having a hard time. And yeah. So no, what I was saying was being clear about what your why is and what your expectations are makes it so that it's not a matter of like other people.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can't be. You have to be 1000% motivated because you have the vision yourself, regardless. Because honestly, if I didn't have a family, I'd be here.
Mm-hmm.
If my husband leaves me tomorrow, I'll still be here.
Right.
Because this is enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because, and that's the thing, when you are a trailblazer, which most of us are, we're like the first ones in our family or the first ones in our friend circle or whatever, even considering these things,
Mm-hmm.
you really do have to be comfortable standing on your own too. And not everybody is built like that.
That is true.
Let's be honest. Not everybody is built like that, and it can be very difficult if you're not. Here she goes. Hey, Erica.
hello.
Hey,
Hi.
Hello.
I'm so sorry about all that to make you go through all that. I know you're in the class. I thought I changed my Patreon level.
It's okay. I'm glad you reached out. No problem. We were just starting. We just started, and we were just kind of having the conversation about, some of the things to expect, but the fact that this is mostly emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Really. It's 90% emotional. The rest of it is basically the same stuff you do when you move anywhere far, with a couple of extra things thrown in, but it's mostly emotional. And so I was talking about the whys and how our whys have to be very clear, and we have to be very committed to our whys, because that's what's going to get us through. And to Nicole, I was going to share, and to Kim, my first time leaving, it was actually a 3-year process.
Mm-hmm.
This time it was like a 6-8 month process. So I've done it.
When you say
both
process,
ways.
you mean an adjustment?
No, to leave. Like
Okay.
from deciding to leave to actually leaving and moving.
Oh,
The first
gotcha.
time it was 3 years. This
Oh,
time
wow.
it was like 8 months.
Mhm. Yeah, for me
That's
it
so
has
crazy.
it has always, it's been, I guess, a few years of just knowing, okay, I want to leave, but it has been just, in the past couple of months where it's like, okay, I am going to either Costa Rica or Belize with a very um focused intention. But
Yes.
once I made up my mind, that's it. I know that it's going down. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, right. Talk to
Yeah.
me about Belize and Costa Rica. What ways in which can I help you? What are you weighing out? What are your thoughts on it?
Basically, I have a boo that lives in Belize,
Ooh,
and
that's a good reason.
yes,
You don't
and
need to say
so
anything more.
Okay.
yeah, so
But is he fine
basically,
though?
oh, he's super fine. But
Is he from Belize?
basically, just to keep it 100, if I go to Belize, if he's talking about getting married, then I'll be in Belize. I
Boom.
need a family structure. I'm not trying to go anywhere and be a single woman out in these streets, in Belize. I feel like if I go to Costa
Yeah.
Rica, you guys will be my family. So
Yeah.
I want a family base,
Community.
community, close friends,
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. I was supposed to go to November, and we're supposed to have the big
For your
talk
birthday.
and yeah, exactly, and see what's up. But Belize, even though their borders are open, they're requiring a 2-week quarantine. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna go be quarantined for 2 weeks and then start my vacation.
Yeah.
So, it's just a matter of time, a matter of them opening up that restriction, and then I will go, and basically, that's it. It's
So
it's either marriage in Belize or a single in Costa Rica.
I haven't really discussed it that much, but I was actually in a relationship with a Bahian when I lived in
Uh-huh.
Bahia. I went through a
Uh-huh.
divorce and then met this man, got engaged. Like it was whirlwind. Like it was,
Okay.
and it definitely changes the experience of a place.
Yeah.
And so this is why I bring this up, because I actually saw somebody post. It's weird because people post, like they send me things about like these relocation summits that I don't get invited to. We all know why. So one of them is being led by this woman who was born and raised in Liberia, left when she was like 10 or something, left, to the States or wherever. And now she's going back. And now she's like telling people how to relocate. And it's like, that's not the same. Let me just be
Right.
clear. When you have family in a place, when you are in a romantic relationship with someone, that is not the same as I'm relocating where I have no one. It's
Right.
just not. And I think it's super irresponsible the way that people who, like I said, have family on the continent, have, children with men that are from there or with women that are from there and try to talk with all. That's why I told you guys, don't do Facebook groups until you've already decided where you're going to go, because 95% of those people are married to locals and really don't know what you're going through.
Right.
It's very different.
Is your friend from Belize?
I'm sorry?
Is he, what's the word, Belizean? Is he from Belize?
He has been in Belize for the past 16 years, but we met here in Oakland, California. We were together. We were supposed to go to Belize together. I got cold feet. He went there. He made his way. He got into another relationship. We broke up.
He came back. They always come back.
And then, recently, that relationship ended, and
let me stop.
And we're back on and popping, pretty much.
They always come back. That's been my experience. They always come. I ain't never. But this is the only one I ever took back. I usually don't take them back.
Yeah,
but
I agree. This is the only one I would ever take back as well.
Yeah.
I don't do the back and forth at all.
Yeah,
but
make up
this
your
one
mind.
is
special.
This is the one for me. Yeah.
Listen, I want that for you because most of the things that you're going to have to consider all of the emotional support, the holding on to your why, the being personally motivated. It's going to be less intense because you're going, you'll be joining with your potential fiance or husband. It changes the whole dynamic so
Right.
much.
That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah. But to
know?
be honest, I think that I still, I've already booked my trip there to Costa Rica.
Yeah, she's
Because
coming in December.
Yeah, I'm coming in December and in
Oh, nice.
April.
And in April to the.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, we're about to
Hey.
turn
But
up.
I
It's going to
think
be
I
sick.
think Costa Rica is a better fit for my family. So as far as being a trailblazer for my family, that's really important for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
My parents are still alive. I have lots of aunts and older aunts who I think need to get out of America as well and
Yeah.
need, some structure that's a little similar to America. They're not going to be, quite as rugged as I am and all that. They would like a mall and some paved streets and some things that Belize may not have. So, I'm very interested in, I may, live in both places. I'm
Which you
not sure
could.
exactly. Yeah,
You
because
could
they're not,
totally do that.
they're not
They're
far
not
from one
far.
another.
No.
But yeah, I would love to find a place or have my family move to Angeles Vista.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how it
And that's
plays
the
out.
thing too. It's that we don't have to be as rigid because
Yeah.
we're authoring our life, right? Like the life that we want, and you get to be the author of it. One of the things that drew me to Costa Rica was that I knew that I could spend $100 and get a round trip flight from here to Guatemala. I could go to, any number of countries very close by for cheap. So
Right.
it being a good travel hub was really important to me. I think it's like 200, maybe 250 from here,
Mhm.
round trip from here to Belize. It's not
Okay.
far.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll see.
I had totally forgot about this meeting, and I was sitting there spamming Marina literally about this subject.
It's
So
okay.
this is perfect because I maybe now I can get some words of encouragement that I need. And I know what it is. I have my mind made up. I've done my research. I know what I want, and then the people closest to me just shit all on it, and then it makes me confused and questioning and doubting. And it's not like I'm telling them, but I can't keep it from them either because my daughter goes with her father every weekend, so he's here and he sees that the house is selling. He's helping me get it prepared to sell. And my sister, is here, every week or whatever. So it's not, even though I'm trying not to divulge details, we also have a mother that we have to care for together. So I can't just leave her in the dark.
You're enmeshed.
Yeah. And so like today, where a lot of that was coming from was she went down her own little rabbit hole of, the economists talking about what's going to happen to the world and how the dollar is going to be worth nothing and how, the global economy is going to collapse. And what do I think is going to happen in Costa Rica?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Poor country.
Yeah,
Where the poor and the hungry and the desperate
let's talk
are
about
be
it.
dangerous.
Let's
Right.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Because you were messaging me about it, and I was like, get on this call so I can say this, and then I'll have to say it to you and the other people.
Yeah.
Honestly, like all bullshit aside, where would I rather be around a bunch of hungry, desperate, angry people? Would I rather be anywhere in the U.S. with angry, hungry, desperate people?
Right.
Or would I rather be here where people in general are pretty passive, and as long as I have big dogs and make sure that I keep lights on, the likelihood that they'll come in my shit is pretty slim.
Right.
Well, that's exactly what I told her, but that's where my question to you came from is, it is a little bit daunting not knowing, like, am I going to be alone? And so I know that, like, part of the reason, let's not, cover up the fact that I think part of the reason for a lot of people too, a motivation is knowing that that community is going to exist and thrive and, come to fruition at some point.
True.
But
And we should talk about that too, because
Yeah.
I've been very clear about this. This is not charity. This will not happen if people don't invest in it and work to keep it going. I have land, I have my house, I have my animals, and I have offered the option to work with and co-farm and build with other people. It was funny because this is like full disclosure, you guys, because this really happened. So Hubs and I were preparing the land and talking about scale and how much we were going to do and planting and all that stuff. And he's thinking, well, we got to plant for, 100 people. And I said, no, we don't, because we don't have 100 people.
Right.
I've been telling people, the only people that we actually certainly have are the ones who are here and the ones that are planning on coming. Because this is where boundaries comes in, right? I am not in any way, shape, or form presenting myself as a martyr or as a savior. I have very healthy boundaries. I've been working on them for years. I didn't used to. And I require actual investment and commitment in order. I'm already more than halfway over the line with what I'm sharing, with what I'm offering. Everyone else has to meet me the rest of the way. And if that doesn't happen, then that's fine. Like, it doesn't change anything for me, but I'm just being really clear about that. Like, I have set the infrastructure. I've done the research. I'm doing my services. I'm accessible. You guys can call me. You can book sessions. I do Zooms. I'm on lives. I'm doing all of this stuff. I check on you. You know that. But at the end of the day, I had to make the leap when there was no one. So as far as my perspective, you guys already have more than I did. I've never had anybody to call and talk to about any of the things that I did either time. And I wanted to provide more of an emotional stopgap and another source of stability and a very clear picture so that you have something to focus on. Because when it's all nebulous and in the air, it makes it very hard. There is something to commit to, but it requires commitment. And I've interviewed with over 75 people, no joke. I've had 75 Angela's Vistas interviews. And as I said, it's still us. You know what I mean? And that's okay. It's so far, you guys are the only consistent participants out of 75 people.
Well, and I'm like, that's a trip, because I know now that I'm not going to be able to come when I want to, but I'm best believe I'll be there.
You got a plan. No, but I know you have a plan and you're clear about what it is that you need. That's why I said the first time I left, it took me 3 years because I had to get my money together. I had to hatch a plan to be able to plan. Right. Second time I sold my house, packed up my shit, got my container, and it was easier as I had access to funds. But both times there was no, I have someone, not even in passing. I had no one in Brazil or Uruguay. I didn't have anybody here either. I'm not saying that that's what everybody has to do. And I understand that. But I think that it's important that we have conversation about the value. And this is kind of why because I needed to clarify kind of my position. I don't want it to be lost on anyone, the value of having a point person in a community that you have gotten to know prior. It is invaluable, but it's not going to take the place of all that other gumption and the grit that you're going to have to do it. It doesn't take the place of it, And Nicole, I know it happened with you. You're no less a part of the community. You're invested, you show up, you stay in touch, I know where your heart is. I know what your intention is. But, it's like with anything else, I've had to very much so work on my boundaries and make sure that I am, holding space for myself to respect what it is that I had to push through and encourage you two to do the same, or you three to do the same, or whoever else is, it requires grit. And you have to be clear about your why. And nobody else is going to be able to give that to you. Nobody.
Right.
So I knew as I was typing my messages to you that you would bring me back to my why. And I know what my why is. But I don't want to feel vulnerable to ask or even feel this hesitation a little bit about, like I was saying, I am a single woman with a young son who will be coming. Like, how certain do you feel that you'll be in Costa Rica for a long time?
Oh, I'm here. Well, you weren't here on the first part of the call. If he stays or goes, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I came here for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, when I went the first time I was married, both of my kids were under 5. They were 3 and a half, almost 4, and almost 2. I got divorced out there by myself with 2 small children, and I had a business that I was handling by myself. And I still didn't want to go back to LA because I didn't want to live in LA. I didn't want to be in the States with my children. It was just that simple. Like, it didn't matter if someone was there or not. I was willing to do whatever I had to do. And I didn't have money. When I went to Brazil, let's be very clear, I only had the money that I had in my initial investment, and that money was spent after the first year. I was there for 5, hustling, selling real estate, tutoring, teaching English classes, whatever I could do, I did. I was hustling. I didn't go there with the retirement. I didn't go there with a lot of money. I was much younger and my kids were little, and I was very, very vulnerable, especially when my marriage fell apart. It was horrible. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I didn't want to go back to the States. That much I did know. This time it's different, but I could still find myself in the same position, similar, not as, you know, I have a lot of my own infrastructure now, but anything can happen. He could have an accident. I could end up a widow. Anything can happen. There's no guarantees. What I do know is that from a very basic level, I feel safer here. Now, if I didn't, that would be a different story. If I did not feel safe here, and the only reason why I went back to LA was because of some stuff that my ex-husband got himself involved in that was bringing some heat and attention on me, and it made it not so safe for me to stay in Bahia, which had he not involved himself with the people that he did, it wouldn't have been unsafe. But it was because of the circumstances and my age and the age of my children. I'm 37, about to be 38. There really isn't anything that I feel like I can't handle, but that comes from a sense of like knowledge of self. Like, I know me because I've done it, and I get that that's a gap because there's not that confidence yet because you haven't done it. But when you've done it and you know that you can do it, when you really feel like you can work your way through anything, you have an amazing skill set. You have more skills than you even know because you haven't had to use them. Really. And until you're in the environment where you have to utilize them, you don't even know what you're capable of. But there's no way for you to not feel unsure. There's no way for you to not have doubt. There's no way for you to not feel scared. There's no way for you to not have fear.
So that's all normal.
Yes, of course.
Okay, because I feel like I don't know. I'm kind of frustrated at the moment, so I just want to feel. I'm just gonna use a language. I feel like a pussy right now because I'm like, bitch, like, you made the decision, like, shut the fuck up, and you know, and like, stop having these doubts. Like, Marina's gonna be like, do I really want her in my community? She's like, oh, but I think for me, it's not the decision to leave. Like, that part is super clear. It's the unknown about what is going on with the world. You see what I'm saying? Like, what if the world crashes? Where does that leave places like Costa Rica in comparison with the U.S.? Going back to like what you said, let's talk about that. That, because I think that we're programmed to believe like, well, we're America, that there's nothing's ever gonna happen. Which I know.
I feel like Kim has an answer. What do you want to say, Kim?
I don't have an answer, but I just wanted to add that, you know, if America goes to hell, or if there's some kind of global collapse, you cannot control it. You need to be in the place where you feel safest, like Marina was saying. I don't feel safe in America. I think we are just 1 second away from these white supremacists, these white pseudo supremacists who think they're supreme, pulling out their
Mm-hmm.
guns and go and wreaking havoc even
Yeah.
more so on Black folks. So that is what
Period.
I am trying to get away from. I
Yeah.
don't feel like that will be the same situation in Costa Rica. I think that
No.
people are less savage. I think America is full of savages. And I'm not going to
Yeah.
be sitting here waiting for them to come and prey on my ass. I'm taking my Black ass somewhere else
Somewhere.
and
Real
try
talk.
to make a safe space for me and my family, so when shit gets hectic in the world,
Mhm.
I can throw up my white flag to my family and say, get y'all asses over here with me,
Mhm.
Right now.
please. I have a place, come on. And
Yeah.
also, Miss Erica, I wanted to add that you should see Marina as a guide for you, that when you
Mhm.
get to Costa Rica, she will help you find your way, but you have to find your own way. You cannot
Mhm.
be anchored to Marina or anyone else. You have to be confident in yourself that you will make your way, just like you have in America. You know, you will find your way. And
Yes.
if it doesn't work out, if it doesn't work out for you, you take your ass back to America if that's where you feel comfortable. But it's not anything that you have to worry about. Oh, am I going to look like a failure? Or what if things don't happen exactly according to plan? You don't have to worry about that. You have survived in America the most um
Vicious
a,
cutthroat.
yeah, the most egregious place for a Black woman to come up. You have survived it. You have made a way for yourself. You are stronger than you think you are. You can do this shit. You are brilliant. You can do it. If you've done it in America, you can do it in Costa Rica for sure. But you really must be, you have to be confident. You have to know that your sisters are going to be there for you. If I'm there, I'm going to be there for
Mhm.
you. If Marina's there,
Boom.
she's going to be there for you. But
Absolutely.
everybody has to stand on their own 2 feet. Nobody
That
can drag
part.
you around. You know, you're going to stand on your own 2 feet and you're going to find your way. You're going to get out on that farm and plant your little potatoes. And I'm going to plant my little potatoes. And then we're going to have some dinner. And, but
Woo.
we have to make it happen for ourselves, because nobody is coming for us. Nobody's going to save us when the shit goes
Yes.
down. Nobody's going to come and swoop us up and Superman us off somewhere. We have to have a place where we can feel safe among ourselves.
And that's why being here, if shit hits the fan and our money is not worth anything, at least we have some land and some amaranth and potatoes and chayote to eat.
Right.
Where are you gonna
Exactly.
get that in the States? They're gonna be telling
Right.
you that you can't even buy seeds. They're already doing that. Like
Exactly.
if we
They
take
will.
it to that level, this is the best place to be.
Exactly.
All my neighbors grow food. There's food everywhere up here. I'm not worried about starving.
Exactly.
I'm not worried about
Hey,
bread
this
lines and food rationing. I'm not worried about that. Who's gonna
Or
ration?
are the military ass police coming through and telling you to get back in your house, or you can't go to your house, or whatever the fuck, or you can't go into the store, because that's what they're going to do.
That sure is what. That's exactly what they're gonna do.
this
That's what's in the
was
mail.
right on time. Yes, all of it, all of that. Yes.
Listen, Miss Kim said, listen, but she's right. She said everything I was trying to say.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
true. This is our
I mean,
opportunity,
and
because
I
we're
know,
not used
and
to
I.
standing on our own 2 feet. That's not what we're used to. We've been led to, you get a job and someone else will look for it. We're led to that.
Right.
And this lifestyle is not that. This lifestyle is about being fully self-accountable and feeling confident to be divine creators. That's why I always talk about it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Exactly. We are divine, and we are the mothers of this whole universe and some other universes that we don't even know about.
Boom.
So please don't ever doubt yourself. You have to know your why for you, and you cannot let anyone talk you out of that if it's truly your why. If you truly are invested in yourself and your children, then you can't let other people's doubts pull you down or pull you back. Let them doubt themselves. But don't let
And they're
them make you
haters because
doubt
they're
yourself.
parents.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't have your vision.
No.
If they
Right.
don't have your vision, they just don't have it. But you have to trust in your vision. It's for you. Yeah.
Well, and I feel everything that you're saying, and I know that it's the truth, but it's when people that you love or, you know, think you want to think that they have your best interest at heart, it gets really easy to
That's shadow work though,
in
Erica.
your mind.
And how long have I been talking about that, Nicole?
Yeah.
Shadow work.
Yeah. Well, that's what, like I wrote to you, it's I know I'm not there because I'm having a hard time distinguishing between my voice and, you know, the blah, 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 blah of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's a part of the process of individuating
Mm-hmm.
because you have to unplug. You have to dismantle that because it will follow you here and it will ruin what you're trying to do here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like just because you get here and you're on this land that suddenly all that's going to go away, because you're still going to talk to them. Even when you're not talking to them, their words are going to be in your head and it's going to influence. It's like cancer. It's like rot. Okay. That mindset, that mentality can ruin everything that you're trying to do. You have to shake it off.
Yeah.
And I've seen it
Yeah.
over and over and over again, over and over and over again. And if it's not, that is one thing, you will guarantee yourself disappointment and failure if that is not handled. I'm serious.
It's probably already been pervasive in our own little group for others, because look how small we are where we started compared to where we started at. And that was a lot of people's concern, was
But I expected it.
The opinions and yeah.
I told you all that it was gonna. I told you that I enjoyed the time that we had, and you know, I respected everybody being in their own thing. And the truth is, when you know something and you don't feel comfortable standing in it, then when you have to live with the result of having not gone with your heart, the suffering is even worse. I feel bad for people who know better and don't heed versus people who didn't know at all. Because if you didn't know at all, there's nothing to regret. When you know better and you don't,
Right.
that's hard. That's,
yeah.
But I expected that.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I guess I should give myself a little bit more credit, because I am still following my heart throughout it all. I haven't
You
let
are.
them dissuade me or detract me from my goal.
And even if you were like, I'm not ready, I'm gonna wait, you'd still be part of the fam.
Mm-hmm.
We'd still care about what was going on with you. You have to do this when you're ready to have success.
Yeah.
It wouldn't change it. There's no judgment. Isn't that how we always start our book club meetings?
Yeah.
That this is judgment free, that we, you know, respect each other's process and all of that. I mean that, because I can't tell you what your timeline is. I can tell you what I think, and I may even be right, but that doesn't mean that it's your timeline, because I don't determine that.
Yeah.
Do I think that it should be sooner than later? Hell yes. Yes, I do. For all of those reasons that you know, mentioned in the article. For me, this is my just in case plan, to be out here, not the other way around.
Yeah.
For me.
I mean, it's definitely comforting knowing that, like I also wrote, I know that I have to own the decision on my own, whether I was going out there without the soul that I knew, but it is a comfort for me knowing that you guys will be there and that the community.
That's my intention.
Yeah.
You know, I'm holding space for all of you in all the ways that I can. You know, and really, even if you didn't end up coming here and you went somewhere else, like there's several people who may stay in Mexico. I'm just happy they're not in the States.
Yeah.
Really.
I am really concerned about this election. Y'all, is anyone else feeling nervous about?
Oh, hi, Izzy. Izzy, say hi.
Oh, there's another person.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
And yes, I am concerned about this election.
I mean, as far as, yeah, like what, just what's gonna come out of it. I just, like you said a few minutes ago, like, I don't know that my neighbors don't attend KKK meetings once a week and they hate that they live next to a black person, you know, like.
Didn't you say they called you niggers? They said that you're the nigger next door or some crazy shit.
Yeah,
like,
well, I found out from their son years ago that them and another group of neighbors that lived across the street, that's how they would refer to us as. Yeah.
Listen, that house would have been. I cannot. This is what I'm saying. Under what framework is that safer?
Right.
Where? On what planet? Where? On what planet? Under what? When people use the dehumanizing language to describe you and your children, on what planet is that safer?
Right.
Because it's what we know already. You know, and Kim's in Oakland, and people think that California is like not racist, and it's extremely racist. It's extremely racist and segregated. Like extremely.
Everywhere there's white people, there's racism. So it's just presented in different ways, but it's here for sure.
Or white looking people.
Yeah.
People that uphold the system.
Exactly.
Yeah, skin folk, non-skin folk, like white people
Mexicans.
and people, yes,
yep.
Yes,
whatever.
People that uphold and benefit from the system are dangerous. Period. And I'm not saying, like I've said, there's racism everywhere, but is it violent racism here? Hell no. Are they going to say anything to me? Hell no. Do the police harass me? No, like I don't have any of those dangers. That's just like basic humanity.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, wow, what's that like?
Right.
Listen, Lee's still nervous when he sees the police. Like he still gets nervous, and he has PTSD from it.
Right.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm like, I wonder when that'll leave me.
Yep. You got to get out. You have to get out of the United States in order to start to heal from this shit that they have put us through. They have terrorized us.
Yeah.
For sure. We're living in terror every fucking day. And if we don't get out of it, it will just continue to wreak havoc on our bodies and our minds.
Yeah.
And
I don't worry about my son.
Exactly. If I had a son, I would be gone already.
I don't worry.
If I had a son, I would be gone. Yeah.
That's my why.
Yeah.
That's my why.
Yeah. When I left the first time, my boys were very small, like I said. And all I could think of was, I'm not going to let my children get shot. I will strap dynamite to my chest and walk into the police precinct if one of my children got killed by a police officer. Gee, I'm not going to be up there talking about let's rock and sway and no. And I was like, I'm going to save my life by not having my children here. This is good for them and for me. I really didn't care about anything else. I just knew that I couldn't be put in that position. And so then when I came back to the States, and I was in the States for 8 years, dreading every single moment, in terror, in fear, watching my boys get older. I was like, oh my God, 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 what's gonna happen? Something's gonna happen any day. Something could happen to me. The police pulling the guns on me when they pull me over in Manhattan Beach over and over and over again. Like I knew any minute something was gonna happen. And I was like, you knew better. You weren't even supposed to be here. Why are you here? Why are you here? Because I was 28 and, ran back to my family, air quotes. And I realized, I will never do this again. I have to stand on my own too. I have to. I owe myself more confidence than I'm acting like I have. I'm treating people who don't really support me because we're being really real. We make up a narrative in our minds about what our family is to us when it's actually us upholding them. Are you really clinging to people who are helping and supporting you and taking care of you and have your back and are looking out for you? Or are these are just more children that you don't actually acknowledge that want you to stay because they're using you? Because that's what it really was. That's what it really was. I came back, I didn't have a job, I didn't have anything. And my parents are talking about, oh, you know, you need to pay us rent and you need to pay utilities and our bills have gone up since you came back and da 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 da. My sister who didn't finish high school with her white boyfriend who she had 3 kids with, my parents built her a back house, didn't charge her shit. I was like, I'm deluding myself. This relationship that I have in my head with these people, it's in my head. It's in my head. They don't actually support me. They support my other 2 sisters, but not me. What am I holding on to? Why am I being so scary? Because I'm living this life on my own anyway. It was in my head. I've always been on my own. And just coming to a place of acceptance of that.
Yeah.
It's all mental and emotional.
I feel you like 100% on that, but I do feel the pangs of mourning, knowing that I
Mourn it.
have to accept it, you know, because it's my truth too.
Yeah, mourn it. Mourn it. I've been crying about this it's been a very long process. Coming back, you know, after the failure, because they got to rub my face in it, you know, Brazil, they got to rub my face in it. And they got to make me feel like shit because of it in exchange for a little bit of help. And it held me there for 8 years. And then I came out of it and it was like, I will never again get caught in that fake, phony, you know, movie picture that was in my head about this life and these people in this relationship that I don't really have. Now, some people really are close to their families, and that's fine. That's wonderful. That's a beautiful thing. But guess what? Whether you're close to your family or not, your path belongs to you and doesn't need a cosign, because you're ultimately responsible for your own karma and your own path in this life. It doesn't matter. It's hard either way. You have to mourn.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad. We're all
And
going through our own levels of loss. Go ahead, Kim.
I don't really even see it as such. I understand exactly what you're saying, but for me, I see it as my family may not see the vision as I see it. And so I need to be the trailblazer. I need to be the one to say, hey, you know, I have this spot over here. Come visit me. Come see how peaceful it is. Come see how
Yes.
wonderful it is. You know, my parents are from Mississippi, so I think Costa Rica is going to be very similar as far as living on a farm and doing things with your hands and getting back to the old school way of things. I think my parents will love it, but I know that they won't go there on their own. But when
Yeah.
I get there, when I get there and I'm able to say, hey, come visit me for a week, and they're able to see it with their own eyes, I think
Yeah.
that, you know, I'll be a trailblazer. So, you know, it's not, in my opinion, it may or may not be about mourning. It may be about celebration and stepping out on faith, because very few people are willing to step out on faith. They need to see it. They want to see exactly what's happening, exactly how it's going to look, and try to plan out every step. And you can't do that. You have to say, fuck it. You know, I've made it thus far. I have made it thus far. I'm going to be all right.
I'm
And
going to be all right.
if I'm not all right, I'll take the next step in the next direction. We don't have to be
I
stuck
love
to
it.
any damn thing. We can
Boom.
keep it moving. Keep it moving. But just move towards yourself. Move towards believing in yourself, and move away from white folks telling you or dictating your fears, dictating how you move in this world. This whole
Woo.
world is yours. Like Marina has said before, This whole world is ours. We get to go to fuck where we want to, when we want to.
Period.
And that's on period.
It really
You know,
is.
that's just on period. So anyway, yeah, I think we are just so caught up in fear, and it saddens me that that our media and our religion and our parents, they get us so tied up in being afraid of fucking going to hell, or fear of failure, or fear of what if you run out of money, what if you don't find a man, you know, what the fuck if I do, what the fuck if I'm okay,
What if I do?
yeah, what if I go there and I'm happy, what about that?
That has not come up once. Everything that you listed, all of those, what if, not once have I heard, what if you're going to go there and be happy? What if this will be better?
No, of course you're not gonna, because people that are trying to manipulate you or keep you locked in fear aren't gonna. You have just as much chance of good outcome as you do negative. Always.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, you know, yeah. No, Kim said it. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
You're absolutely right.
Yes.
What if you're happy?
Yeah, and just those few words that she said is kind of like the first time that I've heard it so simply, and I was like, yo, what the fuck if I am?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be happier.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I know it. I feel it in my heart.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, everything that we're talking about, this is recorded. Everything that we're talking about is going to be super helpful for other people, because this is something that a lot of people feel and, you know, have these same feelings or questions or whatever. And it'll be here, and then you can listen to it every day if you need to, because ultimately it really is that. Like, nothing defines what is your life is going to be outside of you, not anybody else.
Right.
Really. And it's just a feeling confident. I think for me, it feels like this is a question of confidence. And I understand that. But yeah, are you a trailblazer? You be the trailblazer. Be, you know, do this. You're doing this for your son. That's your son.
That's right. Yep.
Like, oh my God, I can't even, you know, I don't know if y'all can really see how I am about my children. I don't play. It's part of the reason why when it became clear that my son was really going to just go off the rails, I had to let him go. And I was able to do it comfortably, like, because I did not play about my kid. Like, I gave him everything I could muster, and even what I didn't have. And so it's like, if this is where you are in your life, this is clearly where your path goes like this. And I will be here when you choose to come back, if you choose to, because it ain't me. I did what I had to for you and for your brother. I don't play about my kids. I don't. And it wouldn't matter if anybody else understood why I was doing what I was doing. These are my responsibilities. These are people who came through me. You know, I gave birth to them. And so I have certain obligations to my children regardless. And you can feel literally however you want to about it, because ultimately it's going to be on me what I chose to do or didn't do. So, you know your why, and you're very concerned about your son. And while it may be easier for him socially in the States, is he going to be safer in the States?
Right.
Probably not.
Yep.
So, you know, you've been quiet, Nicole, but I see you over there.
I wanted to ask how you've been doing, Nicole.
I am in the process of divorce. So, and it's weird when I hear you talking about the confidence thing. It's strange. Like, I have that for myself personally, but the process of divorce is just like, so I don't know what he's going to do. Then I'm just like having to let that go.
How many of us have been divorced? I know I have. Nicole's going through it.
I have not. I've never been
Erica,
married.
you have. Kim, you haven't been married. Izzy, how about you?
No, I've been with my husband for 26 years.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations.
Right?
Thank you.
I'm on my second, so.
Yeah. So,
It's a process.
I will say on the confidence thing that generally speaking, I have a hella confidence. I am less confident in the area that Erica said, actually standing on my own too, because after 22 years of marriage, that's more than half my life.
Yeah.
So in any space where I would be going, I would have to figure something out, but it
Mhm.
just feels particularly difficult. Like now, I'm gonna have to ruminate on that because it's actually not, because I just said it because I'm like, well, I had to do it anyway. It doesn't matter where I would be. So
But it's the
I've been
how it
thinking about
feels.
yeah. I'm like, I didn't think anything could shake my confidence, but this is
It would. I think that the interesting thing, and this is, a little metaphysical, but y'all are with me. Our perception of things is very different oftentimes than what's actually going on, because it's real for us in our world, but that doesn't mean that that's what's actually going on outside, or like in totality, because we are in our own world. Like, we live in our own world and our own experiences and our own, sense of self, sense of confidence, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So yes, it's like, well, yeah, you'd have to figure it out anywhere you were, but there's emotional factors that make it feel safer to go through that somewhere else. Well, yeah,
in the States, particularly because the devil, right?
Exactly.
But I'm like, but for me, I think it's going through this process. It's like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out if I am, like, the only thing that's keeping me here when I think about it is the fact that the only thing I really need to get straight is my passport situation. But then I'm also concerned about COVID there too. I'm not gonna lie. So can we talk about that too? Like, what's the COVID numbers? How's that doing? How's it going there?
Let me see. Because they update it every other day. Currently.
Also, I don't know if you have any insight, Marina, into any opinions on the economic status of the country, because they were already kind of in financial trouble before COVID, and
they're going to be in the shitter. My dollars go way further than they used to. I'm perfectly fine and happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
Really, because I don't earn in colones. I had a business that was local, but I don't now, and I'm happy for it. While I've said this to all of you, while the dollar is still worth a lot, use your money to buy as much as you can that's going to have lasting value, because we don't know how long it's going to have value, because nothing's guaranteed. But I have land and I have access to water and I have like all my infrastructural things. So that's why I'm really not worried. That's really why.
Mm-hmm.
The exchange rate. So right now there are, as of Saturday, no, this is as of yesterday, 89,223 cases. Is that what you wanted to know?
Yeah.
How many cases?
How's the hospital situation there?
572 people that are actually hospitalized. There's 185 in intensive care. But they're almost all over 60. I know, yeah, there's only 185 in intensive care.
And the hospitals are doing well with their percent numbers of full beds and that kind of thing?
I don't know, because I don't actually follow it. I'm going to be honest. I don't. I check like maybe once a week. What I look at is the percentage of cases hospitalized and then recuperated. No, deaths. That's what I keep looking at. And the deaths are still around 2%. So I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, the death toll is not high. Let me see if I can find that for you. I'm reading it in Spanish, so I'm trying to.
Is anyone doing anything in particular personally to try to stay healthy and safe?
There's been
Absolutely.
1,100 deaths. Wait, is that accurate? No. Yes. Yes. Yeah. And most of them were over the age of 70.
so for me, to answer your question, Erica, that's the reason why I'm on this particular island. I don't know if you caught that from, but yeah, there's 59. There have been 59 cases here.
Which
Nobody,
island are you on?
one death, Kauai.
You must be on Kauai.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, yeah. So for me, it's like it's expensive to be here, but then I'm
Yeah.
still kind of like weighing out like how.
Yeah, this is the I don't know if you can see it, but it's
Kauai.
0.012%. So I'm like,
Yeah, that's not bad. And plus, you're out in the
Right.
country.
yeah, I'm on this mountain.
And you are too in Kauai. That's considered one of the most sacred islands. Actually, it's the oldest one of the chain. There's lots of spirits and lots of. It's interesting if you have some time to check out more of the local culture and some of the folklore.
I am in the process.
Probably, or you can probably feel it. I felt it when I visited there. You're on sacred ground.
Yeah, that's why. Again, it's like this would be my 4th time here, so it's like that I know.
Kauai?
So yeah, yeah.
Oh wow. Most people
So
bypass that island.
no, the place is great. But yeah, it was one of the first things I made sure to do is like get my ancestor altar together, and I like to put another one together, like for my regular working one, because I usually have a working one and one for my ancestors, and I haven't put together my working one yet.
And how was the flight out there? I'm assuming you had to take a couple of. No, you're.
Yeah, I had to take a couple. Yeah, from Cancun to Mexico City to LA out to Hawaii. So, a few. Yeah. But got
That
here.
was a good question. I'm glad you asked that. Were there any other questions about like how things are here? Because really, everybody has to wash their hands. They use gel. They wipe down all the carts when you're using them. Everyone has to wear a face mask.
So it's like Mexico, basically.
They're doing the social distancing, but everything's open again, and
So there's no more driving restrictions.
The driving restrictions, like I had said this before in a video, they've always had driving restrictions, but it was 1 day a week to keep people off of the highways, like before COVID. Now it's 2 days a week. So I can't drive on Saturday and Tuesday. That's
the rent. Have the prices of rent gone down?
Yes.
Like, okay. You know
prices
what?
of cars have gone down.
I might have to
the
leave this place.
prices
It's
of all
super
kinds of
expensive
things
here.
are going
It's
down.
super expensive here.
Yeah.
That's
no,
the
the
thing.
prices
I think I
have
need to
gone
put
down
in.
a lot.
Yeah,
Lee's kid's
husband.
mom is here, and I think she's paying like $600 or $700 for a 2-bedroom with in a gated community with a pool and all this stuff.
Yeah, I need some of
For a
that.
2-bedroom.
I need some of that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but that's what I hear.
And I'm sure like my landlord wouldn't be too mad about me like breaking the lease, because I think she said she can make more like this place is a vacation rental as it's supposed to be. So I'm like, well, yeah, fuck it. You know what? I need to write that down for tomorrow. Go to the passport place.
It's a lot cheaper. It's a lot cheaper. Did anybody else have any questions or anything on your mind?
I just wanted to, someone just asked a question about how we were keeping ourselves healthy in these times. So I just wanted to add that I'm definitely, ever since I decided to leave, I've just really been concerned about my health, about fasting, about exercising every single day, trying to build up my endurance. I just want to be a healthier person going forward, getting this excess weight off. I carry around about an extra 20 pounds. And so, not just for COVID, but just to take my best self. When I leave this country, I want to take my best self, you know, and not take my baggage from America to another place. So
Yes,
definitely,
release.
definitely eating better, fasting more, and the fasting is easier when you have a purpose, when you know that, like I said before, when you're preparing for food shortages, when you're just trying to enhance your focus, your mental focus, to make the right decisions for your life. Fasting just takes on a whole new, you just have a whole new intention, and so it's not as difficult. But yeah, I'm definitely doing things differently in every area of my life.
Good for you.
Good for you,
Good for you.
Kim.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually,
I'm
Thank
actually
you.
at I think I'm at 28 hours right now. I'm doing like another mini fast. I don't know if I'll do
Awesome.
56 or 48. But I want to try to build up like you were doing, Marina, because the longest I've done was 4 days, and I could have gone longer. I just felt like eating. I don't know. And plus, I had read that after, it was doing it for different reasons. I had read that after 96 hours, there's not much benefit as far as your body, but as far as mentally, I'm sure, it's much different when you're fasting for mental strength.
I lost 15 pounds in
So
7
that
days.
sounds appealing.
I'm about to start
All
again.
the way to lose.
I'm gonna go from now until the 30th is the plan.
Wow.
Because
actually,
I want to be snatched. Go ahead, Nicole.
I did have another. Well, actually, on the health point first, and then another question about Costa Rica. So, Erica, about the health thing, actually, pretty much doing what Kim is doing, and I'm getting ready to buy myself a bicycle so I can bike around here and get myself back together because tacos were awesome in Mexico. So, and Marina, question about what are the
Hi.
entrance requirements? Have they changed again?
Right now it's open to, well, as of November 1st, it'll be open to everybody again. And you have to have the test 2 days prior. No, 72 hours, so 3 days prior. And the link to the insurance that you have to buy, it's through the government. So it's not like you have a whole bunch of choices. Like you have to buy insurance and you bring your test 3 days prior to travel.
How much is the insurance? Do you know?
It depends on how many people. I want to say.
Depends on your age, how many people,
Yeah.
how long, and your length of stay.
It can
but
range.
They do actually have some options outside of the government one, because that, from what I've been researching, is the most expensive one in some cases.
It's just you'd be risking it if you don't use the one from the government, because not everybody is it. Remember we talked about that uniformity thing that we expect? The uniformity, you cannot assume uniformity with people. The lady that got sent back, whose dog I was keeping, she made it 20 days later. But I have the insurance that she used, so I can pass it on to you.
There's a trip that I read about that it's 72 hours. How does it go? From the time you enter. So you would want to, if you could, get the test based on the time of your departure flight to Costa Rica. So let's just say that you're flying from California and you had to stop over in Texas and then go to Costa Rica. You would want, and say your flight in Texas was at 11, but your flight in California was at 8. You would want to get the test 72 hours from the 11 o'clock flight to allow you to maximize the maximum amount of time, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. And you're not at the point yet where you're booking flights, but I'm all up in this, so I'm strategic about my timing.
Yeah, but the likelihood that they're gonna, like, really though, this is what I'm saying. If you don't have the government issued insurance and you're an hour over, 2 hours over, they're gonna make a big deal of it. But if you have the government insurance, they're not gonna, like, you want to keep things as streamlined and easy as possible. Don't
deviate.
Just go. I'm a tourist. I'm just coming to do. It's that same kind of energy. Like, you got to keep that energy. And you got to always remember who you are. There's shit that white people are gonna get away with that you're not. And that's what happened to the person that got sent back. It was like, and I told her when she got here, I was like, you know, you just like, you know how this works. You wanted to be all indignant and talk about how you own this and this and that, and this shouldn't be an issue, and your lawyer told you it would be fine, and da da da. And it's like, why are you creating a fight when there's no need?
Right.
You know what would work, just do that. Why did you do that to yourself? All of her stuff, she had like 5 bags, her dog, all of this stuff. I was like, you got all this stuff, and the only person that it hurt was you. You didn't affect them at all. Why didn't you just do what you knew you were supposed to? So don't complicate things.
Okay.
Avoid any unnecessary complication, please.
Yeah, no, that's what I was asking. I was like, if things have changed for the easier, that would be, of course, you know.
Yeah, they're
better for
easier
me.
than they were a month ago. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
but
don't
like I
have to,
said, she ran into problems because she tried to.
no. So you don't have to have that whole like chunk of change anymore. It's just get the insurance.
It's
and
the insurance.
get the test.
Yeah, that's what everybody's been telling me. That's what I've been seeing work, you know, and I don't know, it may get even easier by November 1st because they have a lot of people coming in, and it's a lot of bureaucracy and work. And you know, how much will, that's the other thing, like how much will is there to continue with this? Not much.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
much.
like a month ago, it was 48 hours and only the government insurance. Now, a month later, it's 72 hours and options. So I'm hoping that it'll ease up a little bit too.
Yeah, I don't think there's the political will or the financial will to keep this up. They
And
need
it's their high
tourists.
season.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
need money bad.
Mhm.
People here are starving.
Mhm.
They were protesting
Yeah.
the tax hikes. They were in the streets protesting here. I was like, hell yeah, good for
Is that still
y'all.
going on?
Yeah, on and off.
Yeah.
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 You know, but they were right. They're like, you can't just tax us to death because you know, aren't making good decisions.
Yeah.
But like, you know, so it is what it is. If anyone has any more questions, because I'm actually going to wrap it up in a few minutes. I think we got through a lot. This was recorded, so I'm going to post it if you wanted to go back and listen to anything. I'm going to keep it at the levels, the tiers that we're currently at before I release it for the rest of the tiers. But I will post it.
I enjoyed
I
speaking
had
with
a question.
everyone.
It was good talking with you. Go ahead, Izzy.
I was wondering about when I'm supposed to come in March, right? I was wondering about the emergency system. Like, how do you get in contact with? Do you dial 911? Like, how does that work?
No, you
Is
don't
it
know.
the same? I just want to be sure.
You would get a phone that has a chip, you know, for here, and you can dial 911.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I live like 2 minutes away is the ambulance, like the EMT. They're like right at the bottom of the hill. I drive by them like every day.
What town is near Escazú?
Oh, there's a bunch. There's Escazú. So Escazú has 3 parts. And then there's Santa Ana. And then a little further over is Ciudad Colón. And, you know, it depends on which direction. San Jose City, because we're not San Jose City. San Jose is like the county, if you will. The whole country is only 5 million people, a little less than 5 million people. So you have cantons, you know, but there's San Jose, and then Escazú, Guachipolín, which is one of the boroughs or whatever of Escazú, and then there's Santa Ana, and there's a bunch of other ones. Where are you coming? You said you're coming in March?
In
Where?
March. So that's the thing, because I was trying to get as close to you as possible, but I saw different parts of Escazú, like it was like something Escazú, and
yes,
I didn't know like what that meant exactly.
There's San Antonio, which is where I live. There's San Rafael, which is lower down the mountain, and then Guachipolín is in the bottom. Did I miss one? That's it. In Escazú. There's San Antonio, San Rafael, and Guachipolín is not Santa Ana. It's the lower part of Escazú. Yeah, that's it. There's 3 parts to Escazú. How, see, Izzy, we have not spoken. I didn't know this. I'm like, I've been getting messages all week from people like, oh yeah, I'm going to be there in December. I'm like, great. Where's there? Where are you going to be?
Marina, I just ask that you keep me informed if you know of anyone else that is like serious, because I'd still be interested in maybe doing like a rental share, you know, cost.
Dude, I gotta say, I'm scared after my last rental share experience. So
yeah, it can be really emotionally charged. It can be challenging. Some people do better with other people, and some people don't. I think it really depends on the person. Sometimes being with other people while you're going through it, if everybody is understanding that everyone's going through it, then it can be great. But if that's not happening, then it can be really difficult. So, but no, I will definitely keep that in mind. Like, if, you know, I think the people involved is what's going to determine whether or not it's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. You too.
Easy. I guess DM me or send me a message so we can work out logistics, because I didn't know you were going to be here in March, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I didn't know for how long or any of that.
30 days. That's my goal.
The thing. These places and the pictures and what they say and where they say they are is not where they are. We can just wrap up with that. Where they say it is not where it is. It'll say Escazú, and it'll literally be in Alajuela. It'll literally be damn near the Heredia.
Wow.
And then you read it, and it's like, yeah, it's only 10 minutes away from Escazú. No, it's not. That's 40 minutes away from Escazú. That's not anywhere near. So, like, knowing exactly where it is and asking where it is, and if you want, you can have me go look to confirm where it is. Because another thing is that there'll be a house like on the main street, and you got to walk down like a dark alley, and there's like 5 or 6 or 7 houses down an aisle all the time. Like, you're sharing a bathroom, like all kinds of stuff. I've seen all kinds of stuff. So
are you moving there, or you're going to visit?
Well, right now I'm going to visit. I do hope to relocate eventually. So I kind of want to check out the area and see.
Can't wait.
But I am bringing my family. They're going to stay with me for a week, and then I'll be there for anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks by myself.
Oh, that's exciting. Well, yeah, hopefully you're near me, and let's work on making sure that you are.
Yes.
So that it'll be easier to kind of orient, you know.
Right.
So yeah, message me so we can talk about it. Okay, ladies, it's always a pleasure. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Izzy.
And thank you, Marina.
Thank you so much, you guys. This has been a real pleasure.
Adios.
Bye.
Adios.